Okay, so I've said this before in other ways, but I'll say it this way now. Fear doesn't really motivate people. Fear is not the motivator everybody thinks it is. First of all, it's very overrated. Does it have a place? Yes. In the 3D realm, of course, in the higher realms, there is no fear. But of course, being in a human experience, fear is a natural thing. With your game piece, with your ego, right? Whatever it is, your lower self. But fear is not the motivator people think it is. Fear is just the signal that you get when you're under a threat. But as far as you doing what you need to do to get out of that situation, that can't be done in fear. Because if that's done in fear, your judgment's going to be clouded, your heart's going to be pounding, racing, and you're going to always wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Or you're going to act out of emotion instead of clear. Now, of course, it's hard. It could be very difficult to do that rationally, depending on the situation, of course. The problem is we carry fear into what we're doing to get out of that situation. So I'll put it this way. Does fear have its place? Yes. It's like the little bell that goes off. But once that bell goes off, it's like when the alarm goes off, you turn the alarm off. You turn the alarm off and then you go out, get ready for your day, right? That's kind of what fear is. You're not going to leave that alarm running the entire time when you're getting ready for work, right? So I'll tell you the one thing, though, that fear does do. Fear may not motivate. I'm not saying it's not useful, but fear doesn't really motivate. But you know what it can do on the other side? It could freeze you. Paralysis by analysis, right? Especially if you overthink. Fear is a freezer when it's mishandled, not a motivator, right? Fear doesn't, like I said, fear doesn't motivate at all. Fear just is a signal. The little rush in the beginning. But you can't, you can't think from fear. You can't create from fear. Try creating from fear. You may think you're creating while you're fearful, but what you're creating is nowhere near what it could potentially be. Right? If you were doing it from a place of excitement, right? So fear is really not a motivator. It's a freezer. Okay? So keep it in its place. And like I said, it has a place, but keep it there.